and promote wellness. These two new products you're going to hear about, the Z for Life Daily Z and the Exhilarate, make it easy to improve personal investments, your own personal investments in nutrition and health, whether it's for your own self or for your community, your children, and ultimately for this country, for the nation. Because if we're not fit, we're not going to be productive, and we're not going to be competitive in what is now a global village. The healthier we can make our surrounding communities, the better. Sometimes people ask, well, you know, how do my personal choices affect that? And I say to them, just think about the flu epidemic we just went through. The weller you are, the less likely you are to catch the flu, and that means the less likely you are to pass it on to somebody else. So your food choices, your choices to get yourself a healthier diet will have an impact on the whole country. I want to thank you all for listening to me today.
I said upside down, you turn me, you give love instinctively. Round and round you.
Wow. What I know is this from his presentation. I'm glad we have his knowledge, his background, his experience with us to help us develop our products that we do have here. I'm resting very assured that this expertise will help us along the way very much. Right now, I want to go to the next video clip to show the next step in this progression of introducing Z for Life.
Everyone agrees that supplementation is the solution, but it turns out all supplements are not created equal. Are you getting what's on the label? Is it even being absorbed by your body? Well, if it's not a liquid, chances are it isn't. In fact, according to the physician's desk reference, 96 to 98% of liquid vitamins are absorbed by the body, as opposed to only 10 to 20% of conventional vitamins in pill form. Well, but what if you could be sure that you had the best and one delicious, easy-to-use delivery system? You can, and it's called Z for Life.
You'll see the products in just a few minutes, but I'll tell you this, our marketing team has done some fantastic packaging with the products, fantastic naming of the products that will help you to feel good when you're sharing the product with others and also consuming those yourself. So we have a progression here happening right now, and I want to show you one more video clip before we introduce our next two speakers.
Welcome to the wellness industry. Is there an opportunity? In the next 10 years, U.S. baby boomers will increase their annual spending on wellness-based products from approximately $250 billion today to $1 trillion. $1 trillion? That's $2.7 billion every day, $114 million every hour, $1.9 million every minute. Unprecedented opportunity for those who see it, for those who do something about it. Products people buy and use every day, over and over again like clockwork. Welcome to the wellness industry. Welcome to a marketplace that can mean profit for you. Welcome to Z for Life.
So I don't know right now if nutrition's your thing. How many of you have pets? I know a lot of people that spend more money on food and medicine for their pets than they do for themselves. I'm not sure if you're one of those, but I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people that'll spend more on their spouse, sons, daughters, grandkids than they will on themselves. What we're about to show to you is something it is wellness. It may be good for you. It may help you feel better. We'll find out. Our next two presenters, the first one coming out has a 30-year-old specialized sciences business. He's the managing director of that. The company name is Science, Toxicology, and Technology. His company even has the FDA coming to him at times to help write up the GMPs for the food supplements that are out there. Coming out with him is Bob Armstrong. He's an attorney, extremely focused in the food, drug and cosmetics industry. I feel very confident, very comfortable with who we have here with us. Let's introduce and give a warm welcome to Michael Scott and Bob Armstrong. All right, have at it. Hey, thank you. Yeah, I'll get it.
Hello there. Boy, what an exciting group. Well, I want to introduce my friend Hope, and I'm Opportunity. And you've already met Dr. Blyden. I'm really happy to be here. We've been in this business of science and studying nutrition, studying chemicals, the effect of chemicals, drugs, foods on human health. And that's what toxicology is about. Toxicology measures how a quantity or an amount of any compound, whether it's air, water, a particulate, a vitamin or a supplement, a food, a drug, when it reaches a certain threshold, it becomes toxic. Under that threshold, it's non-toxic. And all foods have proteins that are toxic. All foods have proteins that you need to exist on. So we've been studying these things for many years, and I'm an advocate of nutrition. It's where everything starts. If we evaporate the water out of each of our bodies, you're left with a little bit of powder. It's all chemical ingredients. And we need to support the life that's made up of this water and physical body with nutrition. It's the beginning, it's the basis, it's the foundation of what brought you here today, what will take you home tonight, what keeps your brain functioning, what keeps you beautiful, what keeps you healthy, what allows you to feed your pets, to take care of your husband, to take care of your wife, to take care of your kids. Nutrition is the foundation. So I'm really happy and proud that they invited us here to talk to you a little bit about what I believe in and what our group is an advocate for, and that's nutrition. Our team is pretty broad, and 30 years ago, we organized the world's leading brain trusts on pharmacology and toxicology, science, and medicine. Today, I have three of us, our top people to talk to you on nutrition, but out there's a group of MD, PhD pharmacologists, other regulatory specialists. And what Zamzuu has done is right from the beginning, right from day one, they've sought out expertise to guide and direct them on bringing to market a couple prime products that are necessary for daily function and to accelerate and charge you and your system with the energy and the nutrition you need. And not all companies do that. In fact, less than 1% to 2% of the companies out there do that. They just come up with a bright idea, they formulate something with some key words, and they go to market and try to sell it. This group has said, what are we going to do? Whatever it is we do, we want to do it right. We want to make sure that it complies and is the best for our company and our people. So I'd like to acknowledge each of you for coming here, for being interested, and for this interesting, fantastic program that you participate in, and that's sharing your knowledge with each other and the community. It's word of mouth that gets the message that needs to be gotten out to the community. The person-to-person word of mouth is the best way. So, what's happening today? What's the new news within the last 2 weeks, within the last 30 days? What's the nutrition news of today? Well, I'll tell you one thing. There was just released a study of 100,000 people that said something about our bellies. They said those people that weren't getting the right nutrition and exercise, that have a little bit of belly, their risk they found was double that of those people who were in shape, those people that were getting the right nutrition, getting the right exercise. Their risk of mortality, their risk of death and disease was twice. Now, I think it's something else. I think it's those small airplane seats we have to sit in. I think that's the issue. I don't know if it's nutrition, but it's an interesting study. Something else interesting, all of you that have children, you know what's happening? Childhood obesity. You know, and the scientists have been afraid to study it because these are our kids. You know, hands off the kids. You know, you want to give me a supplement and test me, fine, but so everyone's been tippy-toeing around this issue of childhood obesity, but we've got to address it. We have to address it. It's not fair to our kids. It's not fair to our families. We need to take the sugars out of the schools. We need to get them nutrition. Young girls at age 7 and 8 are starting menses. It's ridiculous. These scientists, they don't know what's causing it, but what they believe is causing it is the childhood obesity. They're overweight, they're not getting the nutrition and the exercise they need. So what are we going to do about it? Even if you don't do anything about it with your neighbors, what are you going to do about it with your own families? We've got to address it. It's one of the biggest crises I think this world is facing right now. That's in the news. So, the Senate on Thursday approved $4.5 billion to the Child Nutrition Act. This is a first step, and they're going to approve more, and each of the states are going to take action if you are awake, and if you're writing letters, and if you're paying attention. But even more so than writing your senators or congressmen is what you do in your homes. You set an example for your family, you set an example for your community, and you talk to people about what you're doing. And let's take care of this. Now, what is nutrition? It's defined by Wikipedia as the nourishment of cells and organisms. Well, that makes sense. We take a bite of an apple, and that apple is digested. It goes through our system into our guts and processes into our blood, and our cells absorb and eat that up, and it gives us energy. It makes our eyes open up in the morning, along with coffee, of course, and it helps us, you know, it helps us through the day. Now, speaking of coffee, what's the definition of nutrition in our urban society? Well, for most of us, it's a cup of coffee in the morning. We get to work, we get some more nutrition. A cup of coffee, oh, maybe a little calcium with some cream. Afternoon, we're starting to slow down, we get another cup of coffee. That's our daily nutrition. Some of us, if we were lucky, we stopped by a fast food place and we got a lot of calories and no nutrition. That's not adequate, folks. It's not adequate to look good. It's not adequate to be healthy, to have our minds constantly ticking and awake, which I worry about, you know. And sometimes I notice as by 9 o'clock in the morning, my mind's starting to not work so good. So instead of reaching for that coffee, I reach for some supplements. And you can see I didn't take any today. All right. Well, what's the opportunity? An economist, Paul Pilzer, and you can Google this guy, he's looked at all these economic factors, and he's looked at what the big growth has been over the years and what's the future. And he says, this isn't Mr. Hope or Mr. Opportunity. This is Paul Pilzer, the economist. He's saying the next $1 trillion industry is wellness. It's the wellness revolution. And I think the Zamzuu folks here have seen the light. They're looking ahead of the curve, and they're getting you folks involved, not only for your own good, for your children and your family, but for your economic good as well. Our health is important. The health and wellness revolution, how to make a fortune in the next $1 trillion industry, Paul Pilzer says, it's the new thing. Not automobiles anymore, not personal computers. It's the wellness industry. And what does he base that on? Well, educated baby boomers are driving this shift. What do we want?